Hello and welcome to another episode of Cake Fight Presents The Making of Kaleidoscope. I'm writer, director, and producer Paige Feldman, and here on this show, I'm taking you through my process of making my debut feature film from idea to premiere in real time. So last week, I was continuing on the pre-writing work that I've been doing of having my characters answer the 36 questions that lead to love from the New York Times article of the same name. And we did up to question 21, and I'm still answering those questions, trying to get all the way to 36 in a reasonable amount of time. And I'm doing video diaries still, but we don't want to be repetitive here. So I'll have more video diaries for you in a few weeks, but for now, I wanted to enable you. I'm serious. I am going to tell you 10 things that aren't writing, but actually definitely are. So I am being a little bit tongue-in-cheek here because it's fun, but I'm also 100% serious. These things aren't writing, but they help me get prepared to write. They clear my mind. They help me ground myself into reality. They help me figure things out about the world, about people, inspire questions inside me. And so even though they're not writing, they're things that I can do that help me be the best writer possible when I am ready to put words on paper. So I'm gonna roll the credits and get into the list, and make sure you stick around because number 7 is a real shocker. I'm serious, like I was kind of shocked when I realized how much it actually was writing. All right, I'll see you on the other side. So, if you saw my video from a couple weeks ago, I am sure you're not surprised to learn that I consider listening to music, also dancing like a fool, but mostly listening to music, definitely writing. So for me, music is just a gateway to emotions. A good song can make me remember what it felt like to be 17 and yearning to be an adult, but still confined by the trappings of childhood, or being so upset when I was 25 and realizing how unfair the world was, or just the absolute joy of falling in love and that first kiss with someone who you really care about. All of those emotions are things that I want to tap into in my writing, and I want to help other people recall when they watch the stories that I'm telling. So listening to music, getting in touch with what makes me feel a certain way, what makes my heart sing, what makes it hurt, all of those things, that's definitely writing. Because without emotions, you can tell a great story, but if no one connects with it, what was it all for?
Running is actually writing. Just not think about anything but finishing the next interval, and also listen to the Scriptnotes podcast and Breaking Out of Breaking In, and my dad wrote a Porno, and all the other podcasts I like. I get to just stop thinking for a minute. When I stop thinking, my mind wanders, and sometimes I get great ideas. And sometimes it doesn't give me any ideas, but it does help eliminate stress, make me feel relaxed, and it helps me focus later on in the day. And I got 22 seconds left in my recovery, so time to sign off so I can get ready to do another interview. And sometimes I get to run by the DGA. Inspirational.
So just how running is writing, I also like to walk or dance or otherwise move my body to really get myself out of my head and ground myself into my physical world. And while that's great, especially for clearing my mind, sometimes I just want my mind to be full of something else. And that's where my favorite, I guess it's a hobby because I don't do it for money, but it is kind of necessary to live, is cooking. So I have some garlic. That's wow, it won't focus on the garlic. I have my headphones here around my neck. Gonna be listening to an audiobook, probably a romance novel. That's what I love to do when I'm cooking. And I'm just gonna fully enjoy the smells and the sounds and the stories and not concentrate on my writing, get away from my computer. And in doing so, I'm refreshing myself, prepping my mind to be ready for the next time I write. And that is why cooking is actually writing. That is a correct amount of garlic for like 2 people, 1 serving, you know. I like a lot of garlic. Cleaning, which I'm doing right here, putting away my laundry, is actually writing. So not only, that laundry bag was heavy, it's no joke. Does the same thing as running and cooking does in terms of getting me away from a computer, getting me out of my head, doing something physical, but it also creates order and neatness, and there's some animal part of my brain that just gets switched off when things are clean, and it helps me concentrate and focus better. So this is obviously a cliche. Writers on deadlines have the cleanest houses, but it kind of is writing, because if you have that clean space, it helps your mind focus, you're not worried about something else you have to do, and also sometimes just stepping away from the work gets you better work. So, because I really want some better work, and I got all that to put away, I'm gonna turn off this for now and get to it. All right, laundry's put away, room is considerably neater. And here's the next thing that I like to do that is definitely writing, and that's make a to-do list. This is my to-do list. I really like moleskins, if you didn't notice already. And I keep a to-do list. I do colors. I make little boxes. Every day, I make a new to-do list. And it's everything from working out to the writing I need to do to going to my day job. And it scratches the same itch as cleaning does, where I get to keep things neat and orderly. And it also makes it so that I'm not sitting in the middle of writing and thinking, oh, right, I need to answer that email. No, because answer emails is already on my to-do list. Besides keeping my mind clear and making sure I don't forget anything, there's also something viscerally satisfying about putting pen to paper and crossing off the thing that you just did. So, if you've gone through this list so far and we're like, oh my gosh, it sounds like a lot of work to write even when you're not writing, yeah, I get you. And so this one is for you, because reading and watching TV and watching movies, those are all types of writing. So for me, I love reading a book that has absolutely nothing to do with the type of thing I'm writing, hence Catch-22. But sometimes you need a good comp title, so I got one of my favorite romantic comedy books here. Or sometimes I just like reading completely out of my category. So The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, this just sucks you in from the get-go. And then there's always the part of me that is super basic and really likes filmmaking and industry type books. So like Brothers by the Duplass brothers. Yeah, it's an inspirational, it's a manual to the industry. It's also really entertaining and fun and a great memoir. So yeah, books help me get sucked into other stories, see narratives different from my own, visit perspectives that are completely different from my own, and then when I get to sit down and write again, maybe there's something that I've absorbed from all of these stories that I can bring into mine, and with my voice, twist those things, make them interesting, make them new, and refresh the thing that I'm writing. Or sometimes I just want to be entertained and forget about the fact that I'm supposed to be working. Like right now, one of my favorite things to watch on Netflix is The Circle. It's a reality show about social media, and there are Shakespearean levels of drama. It is a lot of fun, and you know what? Even if it's mindless, sometimes the thing that you need is to just watch people be people, forget that you're supposed to be doing anything productive, let your mind wander, and that's when the magic happens. So that is why watching TV, watching movies, and of course, reading, no matter how highbrow or lowbrow or basic or amazing, because I can't say anything bad about this. So good. It is. It's all writing. Yeah, but if you were just like, okay, reading, consuming media, whatever, what if I just don't want to do anything? Well, guess what, friends? Scrolling social media, also definitely writing. 'Cause see, when you scroll through social media, you read things. I mean, it is reading, it's just not like reading a published, edited book. So you're reading, your mind is engaging with subject matter, and also you get to do something with social media that you don't get to do with books, and that's talk back and have somebody actually hear you. So when you're reading through Twitter, when you're looking at Facebook, when you're looking at Instagram, you're actually writing because you are forming views of the world, you are creating opinions, you are figuring out who people are based on what they say, so you have character profiles going. All of these muscles, and watching how other humans interact in the world, even through social media, those are all muscles that you need to have really tight and supple, and other words that are less gross, in order to be a really successful writer. So scrolling social media, seeing what other people are up to, and exercising that curiosity, all things that are definitely writing. Now, excuse me, I have some new Twitter notifications I gotta get to. Yeah, sometimes, for me, writing just means I'm sitting at my desk, staring out the window at the view on the street. Staring into space is 100% writing. It's meditative for me. It helps me clear my mind. It's also, it makes it so I don't have to concentrate on anything. Sometimes even Twitter's too much, you guys. I mean, it's Twitter. I always have this window right here. The blinds are always open while I'm sitting here writing, because sometimes, even in the middle of a flow, I need a second to take a break, to let my mind go back to zero, and to be able to center on that one thought that's going to make a scene fantastic. So I just stare into space. And by space, I mean down at the street. Sometimes I see absolutely nothing, and sometimes I see some stuff that's pretty cool. Like, there's this guy who skateboards sometimes, and he has an oar with him that he uses to propel himself down the street. It's weird. I dig it. And maybe that'll one day find its way into a script. And even if it doesn't, staring out my window off into space is 100% writing. So it's not just things that you do alone or inside the house or, for exercise that can be writing. It's also just going out and having a great time with friends, getting dinner, going to a movie, interacting with people, seeing what other people are into, what they think, what they like, what makes them laugh. That's all writing. You gotta participate in banter to write good banter. So right now I'm getting into my car, just opened up the garage, and I am gonna go grab some sushi with some friends and have a great Saturday night. Because let me tell you, hanging out with your friends, having dinner, having fun, that's all definitely writing. Uf, esta maleta es grande. Quisiera tener una maleta pequeña. Hey, so I'm in the middle of my Duolingo Spanish lesson because number 10 of these 10 things that aren't writing that actually are is learning something new. I love learning new things. And it's not just because I get a lot of great story ideas from opening myself to the world, reading newspaper articles, listening to people tell stories, learning a language. Learning a language teaches me so much about language itself, especially when there's a word in one language that's untranslatable in English and evokes a certain feeling. Like my favorite word in French is the verb s'éclater, which sort of is the verb equivalent of to be ecstatic, but all in one word. It makes me feel like exploding with happiness. And that's a feeling in a word that I can take into my writing. But other than that, learning new things also gets me out of the idea that writing is the be-all and end-all of life. There's so much in the world to explore and so much new that you can learn just by opening your eyes, that finding a passion, finding something that you love to learn about, or even something that's mildly fascinating and you go down a Wikipedia, YouTube, library rabbit hole for a few hours, can just awaken your mind to a lot of new possibilities and ways of life you never dreamed of. I went to a Chagall exhibit one year, and going to that exhibit sparked an idea for one of my episodes of Interrobang about an artist who is upset that her girlfriend doesn't understand her art. And they have a conversation about Chagall in it.
Chagall did all right for himself without an education, though.
Yeah, but to be fair, he was trying to survive the pogroms and the Holocaust, right?
Right?
So, learning new things also adds richness to your writing. And besides being fun and making you feel smart and giving you ideas, you'll also have something different to talk about in meetings eventually than the person who only sits around and thinks about their writing. Grab your library cards, sign up for all of the periodicals you can, read a bunch, take language lessons. It's all there for you. Just do it. It'll make you a better writer, a more interesting person, and if you're like me, you just have great little facts and you can deploy them in social situations. I'm gonna stop talking now because I only have 15 minutes, and if I don't finish this lesson, I don't get double points. And I want some double points. Mi casa es amarilla. Mi casa es amarilla. And welcome back. So those were my 10 things that aren't writing, but actually are. And as funny as I meant this video to be, and as tongue-in-cheek, like I said at the beginning, it's also, I'm dead sincere. I really hope that this video has given you permission to do things that you enjoy that aren't writing without feeling guilty about all of the writing you should be doing. Because even moments when you step away from the keyboard, if you are being in the moment, if you're enjoying yourself, if you are interacting with people, all of this work, even though it's not work, is stuff that you can put in your stories and make them better and more authentic and more real to you. And so that is what I wanted to share today is that writing is as much about being conscious and living in the world as it is about putting words on paper. I mean, obviously, if you don't put words on paper, at a certain point you're not writing, but if you're doing that work, you should also be doing the work of living and enjoying yourself and finding ways to keep your mind and spirit healthy. So please, if you like this video, give it a like. And I'd also like to know if there are things that aren't writing but actually are that you do that I didn't list here. Or if there's something that I listed here that really resonated with you, I'd love to hear about that too. So please drop it in the comments. I want to be able to expand my list from 10 things to 20. So yeah, share away. And next week, I'm not quite sure what the video is going to be because tomorrow on Thursday, I am going to be going to Minneapolis for a film festival for Interrobang, which I'm so excited about. And so I'm going to have a truncated schedule to get the next video done. So while it might be more of the 36 questions that lead to love, it also might be something else. It's a surprise. Either way, come back next Wednesday and watch more of the making of Kaleidoscope. And thank you again so much for watching, for being here today, and for all of your support. It's been a blast so far, and I only know it's going to get better. All right, see you next week.